In every life, in every generation, there's a moment where we start searching. It's that deep, quiet question in our hearts, looking for an anchor in the middle of this crazy modern world. Maybe that's you right now. You're searching for some clarity, for a little direction, for something more than just all the noise we hear every single day. Or maybe it's a search for peace, just some real internal peace when the world around us feels, well, anything but peaceful. And we're not talking about abstract ideas here. We're talking about real, timeless wisdom that you can actually use for your challenges, your relationships, for the unique path you're on. For literally thousands of years, people have found those exact answers inside the pages of one book, an ancient text that holds the keys to figuring out our world and, our place in it. But let's be honest, approaching the Bible can feel a little intimidating. The language, the history, the sheer size of it can feel like trying to navigate a dense forest. I mean, where do you even start? But what if you didn't have to walk that path all by yourself? What if you had a trusted guide? Someone who spent decades mapping the whole thing out, lighting up the trail, and making these profound truths easy for anyone to grasp. Well, that guide is Pastor Steve Thatcher. For years, Pastor Steve has just poured his life into teaching. He's walked congregations through the deep, deep truths of the Gospel of John, literally line by line. He's unpacked the simple but totally life-changing lessons that are kind of hidden in the parables of Christ, and he makes them feel so relevant for us today. And probably most important, he's always focused on shining a light on God's will, helping us figure out how to take this ancient wisdom and apply it to our very modern daily lives. A quote from one of his sermons really says it all. All Scripture is inspired by God and is useful for teaching, for truth, rebuking error, correcting faults, giving instruction for right living. See, his goal has always been to make Scripture useful and alive for you. So what we have here is decades of study, hundreds of sermons, thousands of hours of insight. It's like this incredibly deep well of biblical wisdom. But here's the real question, isn't it? How do you actually draw from that well? How do you find that one specific piece of wisdom that you need for your situation at the exact moment you're looking for it? Scripture tells us something powerful. Heaven and earth will pass away, but the word of the Lord endures forever. The wisdom is timeless, the truth never fades. But the way we get to it, well, that is about to change. That enduring, life-changing word is now more accessible than you could have ever possibly imagined. I want to introduce you to Solo, your personal AI guide to biblical truth. Solo's whole purpose is to bridge that gap. It takes the timeless, ancient wisdom of Scripture and puts it right in the palm of your hand with instant, modern access. It connects the word that stood for millennia to the questions you have today. So what is Solo, really? Well, it's an AI chatbot that's been trained on one thing, and one thing only, the entire library of Pastor Steve Thatcher's sermons and his writings. Just think of it as your own personal Bible answer man, and it's ready for you 24/7. And the best part? It is so incredibly simple to use. Let's take a quick look at how your conversation works. Okay, it's a super simple 3-step process. First, you just ask your question. It can be anything, from trying to understand a complex parable to needing guidance on forgiveness, or just finding patience at a stressful job. Step 2, you get a clear, personal answer, all drawn from decades of Pastor Steve's teaching. And then step 3, you take that insight and you apply that timeless wisdom directly to your life. Now, I want to be clear, this isn't some stuffy academic tool. Your conversation with Solo is designed to be friendly, casual. Every single answer is deeply grounded in Scripture, but it's delivered with all the unique insights, the stories, and the heart of Pastor Steve. And it's all tailored for your personal journey. And this is why it's such a game changer. This isn't just about getting information. It's about having a conversation that can bring clarity, bring encouragement, and ultimately a conversation that can truly transform your understanding and your life. So that search you've been on, that search for answers, for peace, for wisdom that really matters, your journey can begin right now. Because the path to understanding, it always starts with a single, honest question. So the only thing left to think about is this. What will you ask first?